Hello everyone from KAIJI NORI. I am with you with a great video. I will give brief information about the KAIJI NORI map. I will briefly describe and introduce the map. I say short because this map is really not enough if I shoot a 10-hour video. This gigantic map is 400 square kilometers. You will lose track of time. Time really flies during the test phase. I understood that very well. There are so many places to explore that I was able to see only 1/5 of the map in a month. 55 different varieties of 19 different fish species will be accompanying us on this map. Remember that the fish are no longer in a fixed area. They will be swimming in different groups, ranging from small shoals to large ones in their movements. This dynamic displacement in different places is quite nice, because hunting using radars is quite enjoyable. Each one will be waiting for us in different places and depths. In this video, I will show you the content that has been added in general. I don't want to do this because it would be tiring and confusing for you to explain everything in one video. Because the use of baits is a separate detail. Finding the fish is another detail. Using the radar is another detail. The new trolling fishing technique is another detail. Never think of NORI the slider as just a map. This add-on is a game in itself, full of content and detail. I'm talking about 500 new content, friends. 500. Not 10, not 20, not 50. 500 new content. 31 pages of content. That's really incredible. So let's start our short tour. The entry level to the map has been raised to 83, and the last level that can be reached now is 90. Dozens of types of fishing rods, hundreds of types of lures, hooks, bullets, the list goes on and on. Yes, the first thing I'm going to show you, of course, is our fishing rods. 36 rods from 67 kilos to 92 kilos of awesome rods have been added. When you come to the rod tab, there are 4 saltwater spinning rods, 24 saltwater casting fishing rods, and 8 saltwater bottom casting rods. We will see 3 new options. These added rods are officially from the Japanese company Tushiroto. The rods are very light and feature Samurai Do technology with incredible flexibility. We now have very durable equipment made of polyethylene, carbon, and polymer blends. And of course, strong reels to accompany these strong rods. The options added to the reel tab are 4 saltwater spin reels, 30 pieces of saltwater cast reel. We can use cast reels on saltwater bottom cast fishing rods. I will explain these in the next videos. Of course, the rods with full understanding. Added as 2 options. Saltwater breadlines, 44 pieces from 40 to 96 pounds. Saltwater monolines, 44 pieces from 40 kilos to 90 kilos. Then saltwater frollerlader was added. Saltwater. 44 new leathers, ranging from 35 to 85 kilos, are now available. There are no new kidlets, because only Scottam and Volan's boats are used on this map for now. These boats have storage areas available. I will mention these when I describe the boats. Here we have newly added tackle wagons. We will be able to use 4 new tackle wagons. These are high capacity and will allow us to carry more equipment with us. Yeah, now it's time for the hooks. Saltwater hooks. 20 new hooks ranging from 8.0 to 18.0. The next one is live weight trolling hooks. 6 hooks ranging from 2.0 to 8.0. Note that this hook can only be used with live bait in the middle of the mussel. Saltwater sinkers. 25 new sinkers ranging from 150 grams to 750 grams. What is this weight, you may ask? But we're really going to need them. The reason is that this update is a new open reel system, so they will be necessary for the bait to get to the depths faster after firing. Let me also mention this. Sliding nori can reach depths from 1 meter to 400 meters, and some of the bottom fish live like a dessert. Right now for the fake lures, saltwater lure. There are exactly 103 different lures. Some are much more effective in combination. Some are more effective on their own. It will be incredibly enjoyable to experiment with this type of bait. The more you solve them, the more you'll enjoy them. 7 new baits have been added as baits. But in the saltwater baits option, we will be able to find the lures that the fish on the map like in bulk. Now we come to the most important content, our boats. As I mentioned in the previous video, 2 new boats have been added for now. Tushiroto Bolans, the road to DLC goes through the package, but the Tushiroto Scutum can be rented and used from the port. Scutum is the storage capacity, the kit net, 1,500 kilograms, 1.5 tons. The flywheel storage capacity is 2,000 kilograms, 2 tons. Scutum max speed is 25 knots, 46 kilometers. Flywheel speed is 30 knots, 55 kilometers. Scutum can invite 2 friends to your boat with you, and weekend trolling and fishing with a total of 6 fishing rods. In Volonsa, 3 friends can get on your boat with you and you can troll or hunt with a total of 8 fishing rods. The friends menu, in the top right corner, is where you can send invitations to your friends and create a fishing together menu. When you open this menu, you can see your friends, and the KAIJI map is automatically selected in the Fishing Together tab for now. You can change the weather, and if you have 2 boats, you can change them here. The next screen after pressing create is the invite screen. Here you can invite any friend you want. You can also decide who can take the helm. It'll be quite fun. But let me point out that we can only interfere with our own fishing rods. We cannot interfere with our friends' fishing rods. And another important addition is navigation dimensions. You will understand how important this is when you enter the map. A map of 400 square kilometers can sometimes be tedious to navigate for a long time, always starting from the port. For this reason, the navigation dimensions, it is inevitable that it has a really relaxing effect. You can add a maximum of 100 pieces to the map. Yes, before we start our short map tour, I want to show you an image. Forget all the fish you've caught so far. It is not easy to be first in leaderboard, my friends. Believe me, this trophy is bluefin tuna. The first time I caught this, I started to think, I think I've caught a whale. And believe me, it takes a serious effort to capture it, and it takes a really serious amount of time. I can tell you this, incredibly enjoyable. But it's tight. Stop. Of course, there's a bigger one. Be prepared for every surprise on this map. Now I can hear you asking how to find which fish is where on this map. This is where a great collection of missions awaits us. When we enter the map, we are greeted by the Maintenance Adventures mission, which can be done in 15 different locations. In short, the mission that introduces the map. It is very important to start this mission, because it gives you general information about where to find which fish and at what depth. While doing the Maintenance Adventures mission, you also complete the KAIJI NORI exploring missions. This group of missions gradually increases from easy to difficult and prepares us for this unique habitat. In addition, as you complete these missions, you activate features such as sonar radar and depth radar on your tablet. This mission is very important for this map. I will be adding it piece by piece in this mission group. Also, 2 types of monster missions have been added. The first monster mission is a giant that we will catch alone. Get ready for it. The second monster mission, which opens after the first monster mission is completed, is a monster that we cannot do alone and can only be done with our friend. Stay tuned, as I will be sharing these missions as well. Now let's take a short ocean tour. Of course I can't show you the whole thing. It's much more fun to discover it for yourself. I'll show you some specific places. Yes, first we can start in the harbor or other rocky section. We have the chance to find most fish species in the rocky section. When we start in the harbor administrator, who looks like Chuck Norris, is waiting for you next to the car just behind to give you your first mission. After starting this mission, our story on the map will begin. Now let's get on our boat and I'll show you some places briefly. Cute cats will also be welcoming us on our way to our boat. Their number increases a bit as we complete the missions. Yes, Wallens, welcome to our boat. On the far right, we have sonar radar. In the center is our depth radar. and on the left we see the dual engine power of our boat. Let's fire it up and get going. It takes a while just to get out of the harbor. You can see schools of dolphins in the open sea, tuna jumping away from the big fish, and if you're lucky, you'll be able to see a whale when it splashes on the water. Let me give you a little tip. If you see a flock of birds in the air, you will definitely see a school of fish on your radar when you go underneath. Birds always gather on the flocks to hunt, and keep this in mind. If you come across a school of fish, we will now be able to see whether the fish are on the surface, at medium depth, or at the bottom, thanks to our new generation sonar radar. This is very important, because if you drop the line without checking the radar and the fish are deep, it will cause you to wait for hours in vain. A map where we will use radar quite often is waiting for us. I will show you some places briefly, and I will share the details with you in my next videos. See you in a new video. Stay healthy and happy.